Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Black, White, and Red All Over. I'm Victor Dandridge, the hardest working man in comics.
Ryan Seymour, King of Comics, on here in Columbus, Ohio.
Woohoo!
Big week.
Yes. Oh my God.
The final week of February, but like...
Man, they were just dropping books. Mm-hmm. Who wants a book? You want a book? You want something to read? I got something for you. You read this. You like, you read. You read
really?
good.
Yeah. And a ton of small press.
Man.
A ton of small press.
I feel kind of bad for all the mainstream books that I did grab, but I had reasons. I had reasons for doing this. But a lot of small press things. A lot of fun getting into it. Okay, so we are a week after the finale of Peacemaker. Did you enjoy this show?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, 100%.
That was amazing. We were trying not to spoil because one, we don't do that, and two, our producer hasn't seen it at all.
Yeah, no.
tweet Jeremy at and find out what's going on in his life. Like just ask him how he's doing. You know, just check up on him.
Just check in.
Yeah, it's nice that way. So yes, amazing.
I hate that we're now. There's what a gap was. We got to wait. Was it a little bit until was it Kenobi?
Yes.
Yeah.
We got some time. However, speaking of Peacemaker, I did hear that they are anticipating for Comic Cons in the next year or so, Peacemaker flash mobs. Yeah. Doing exactly that. And so I'm like, so now I have to learn it.
Yeah.
Because if a flash mob jumps off,
you got to be a part of it.
I gotta join.
Yeah.
I gotta join. So that's gonna happen. Okay. So we might have to film dance lessons of us learning it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, I get to be hardcore. What?
No, I can just see it.
She was so intense in that. When she comes out of there,
she was so hard. For me, obviously, I got to be Robert Patrick.
Yeah.
Just that thrust. That yes. Jeremy's like, what are y'all talking about?
Oh, you haven't seen any of it?
No, I've seen the intro.
Okay, good. Okay. Whew, I was about to be like, man,
we just spoiled.
We're just have to show it to you after we're done. But no, this is an amazing week. A lot of cool books that have come out.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some good reads that you should read. But before we do that, subscribe to the channel. Why? Because we're told that it actually helps us, in a huge, big way.
Yeah.
I've actually seen other people talk about this.
Yeah, and hit the bell. That's what you know every week, which is usually Wednesdays when it hits the interwebs.
Yep.
Then you'll know.
I've also actually heard people say, play the video through to the very end. Even if you're not watching it, just let it play because it helps us get generated to other things.
Yeah.
And there might be something in the near future at the end that you might want to use.
Yeah.
I don't know what that might be, but it could be something. So it behooves you.
You never know.
Okay, so we've got two that are the same, one that's different on the good reads you should read. Where do you want to start?
Ooh, talk to me about that Action Comics, because I think it's building up to that kind of switch everything that's going to be happening here in a couple months.
Okay, so here we go. Action Comics. This is 1040. This is Johnson, Federici, Lowridge. I think that's how you say that, Lowridge. This is part five of the War World story. Okay, so here's the thing. Philip gets the need for Superman, that core goodness factor, and he's put him in a place where that is ruled as bad.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. World's not a nice place.
It's not. And what I love the most about it is we've had this idea of War World, right? We've seen it in comics, we've seen it in cartoons, and it's always been this big technological machine, right? But this is actually saying War World at its core is a planet, and this other stuff has been built on top of it. And it's hijacked what this planet was.
Interesting.
Yeah. So we're exploring some of the native beings that are of this planet and how they're responsible for the inhabitable atmosphere of there's so many things. But at the core of it, you've got Superman, who has this ideology that he does not want to break. Doesn't matter how many chains you put on him, he will not break, he will not become this killer, and won't condone killing, even on a ideological level. And I think that's very, very interesting as a sense of good, but coming in and actually being an erasure of culture. There are people here that are raised to believe that this is the way it's supposed to be.
Oh.
And he's coming in saying, no, it's wrong. How do you do that?
Yeah.
How do you manage to do that and not be seen as an oppressive, force challenging an established culture?
Yeah.
That's what Kennedy Johnson is so good at, is he's establishing it in a way that you never look at Superman and go, well, that's messed up.
Yeah.
This is how these people think. You just think you know the way? he's found that entrance. It's so good, so good. So I love it, absolutely love it.
It's really cool. And we're leading up because with the Death of Justice League is going to be happening here in another couple months.
Yep.
John Kent, I think he's going to be a good fit.
Oh man,
to fill in.
Amazing.
All right. From Vault Comics, Radio Apocalypse #2, Ram V, Anad RK, Anisha, and Bidikar are the creators for it. It's gorgeous.
Yes.
It has this super frenetic, like super sketchy art style to it. The colors are all dark and like, all right, it's a post-apocalyptic world.
Right.
There's, I'm trying to think of a good elevator pitch for it. Like a BMX Kid, Good Morning Vietnam.
You already got me.
Kind of combo.
There. BMX Kid, Good Morning Vietnam. Wow. Mm-hmm. Yeah, y'all need to use that. Yeah, actually.
And it's just this radio station that tries. It's one of the last vestiges of society that the guy's just out there just playing songs, keeping everybody feeling human, feeling civilized. And it's these patches in between the groups of humans that are surviving that there's these weird, gnarly monsters.
Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah, that come out at night. And so travel is very sketchy. You got to go during the day. If you're out at night, man, you're on your own. And we're finding more about the structure of the society, that there are certain people that are tasked with policing or preventing these monsters from doing things.
Right.
And one of them is being called into duty. So it is really, really cool. You get to hear Day Tripper in your head a bunch. Nice. Which, is a Beatles song, isn't bad, I've heard. So, yeah, definitely recommend picking up. It's only issue 2. Issue 1 came out a little while back.
It was.
Shipping in paper has been a nightmare, especially for smaller press. Yeah. I recommend going out and getting a copy, number 1, number 2, and giving it a read.
Enjoy it. I remember when we did issue 1, and it was fascinating. Like, Ron V is already like a dope writer.
Yeah.
And the art team just like makes it seem even better. So that was really good. Really, really good. Let's do Quad.
Yeah.
Let's do Quad. All right.
Back-to-back weeks.
Yo, it legit messed me up because I'm like, I picked this up and I'm like,
wait a minute.
We literally just did this book, didn't we? Like last week.
And it's a different creator.
Totally different creator. And this, okay, so from Behemoth. Oh, hail Behemoth. Those are your marching orders, and this is why. Because they've got this, I don't know, this missive, right? That, this is this world, things fall apart, the remnants of society are maintained as best they can in different ways, and getting different creators to tell stories, single self-contained stories in this world is brilliant. Like, absolutely brilliant. Now, might mess up this name. Santos is the last name, and that's the easy part. Aloisio, I'm hoping I'm saying that correctly.
Aloisio?
Maybe Aloisio. I do like that too. Okay, see, that's you're better than me.
I took a little bit of Spanish in college.
Okay, see, I
failed, but I was there.
But you were there, and that matters.
Yeah,
that does matter. So yeah, story and art by, and this one has a little bit more of a 2000 AD vibe.
Like with a little mixing a little procedural policing action. Because once I got my head wrapped around the fact that it was going to be anthology with a new creator each time, I was like, all right, cool. And we settle in. This particular place is nicer. Yeah, it feels like if I'm going to be in a 4th generation apocalypse,
generally speaking, I might want to be here.
Yeah,
but maybe.
And it deals with robots.
Yes,
and how the law of robotics functions. And I'm just going to read the title. It's Ghostware Exorcist Trent. And Trent is a robot whose job it is to fix software issues.
Yes, in the robots. But Trent is while doing the job, is having a very Philip K. Dick existential question about himself in this space, and his own, I don't know, vulnerability to what he's supposed to be doing. And it's fascinating. Now, okay, when it comes to the 3 laws of robotics, and these are classics, right? Yeah. Like, was it K. Dick that first? Okay, Osmos. I was like, no, it's not Philip K. Dick, but he did reference it and stuff. Okay, so the idea of these rules are contingent on each other, right? Like, you have this first one that sets this rule. Then the second one builds on that first rule, and then the third one builds on the other 2. The presentation of the first rule, I didn't feel like that worked. Is that weird?
It's each of them feel like, can Lemmy make a rock that he can't lift? Like you can't.
Right.
The robot is in a position where it can't do.
He can't do the thing.
Yeah.
Unless, so yeah, it's a very interesting sort of setup, but it's all about like kind of creating this cycle of inevitability, we'll say. Like something bad is going to happen no matter what the rules are, because this is the way that works.
Yeah.
Man,
really, really good.
It really was. It really was. I wasn't sure where it was going to go, but I believe that Trent could beat up Batman. I said it.
Trent's not bad at his job.
I mean, he's really not,
Yeah.
man. And his turn, so his use of the robots.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's clever. Because the person's like, well, but the rule says, yeah, but I didn't ask him to do that.
Yeah.
I asked him to do this. Oh. That's interesting.
Yeah.
And really good.
Yeah,
So
really, really good.
definitely check that one out. It was fun. Last in the Goodreads you should read.
Aquaboys-2-Aquamen.
That's an album. That's an album. It's definitely the name of this episode now. Good job.
Aquaboys-to-Men.
That's it's so hard. Poseidon Philly's back again. Okay, so I'm gonna keep it $1.50. The sole reason why I picked this book up this week is because Chuck Brown and Brian Thomas are the writers, and I know those guys. And so I was like, let me read my people's work. Now, the reason why I say that, and I use this as a caveat, because this book seems to be a culmination of other Aquaman titles and arcs and things that I have not been reading. So, there are some things that kind of came together in this, and I was like, I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't reading the other pieces.
Yeah.
Am I interested in reading those other pieces? Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. It was all part of the Aquaman Becoming miniseries.
Yeah. And was there a Black Manta series too that I think they reference?
I think.
Yeah, I think there's one of those. But okay, so I'm reading this in the shop, and wait, let me give a shout out to the rest of the team here because we have some questions. Got some questions that I want to ask because this got personal. We had a conversation in the shop and it got real. Okay, I'm gonna keep it. Where is the credits at? Why do they always hide the credits?
It's all in Atlantean.
Blah, 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 blah. Okay. So we got Sammy Basari on the art. So that's lines and inks. And then Adriano Lucas on the colors. And World on the letters. So dope stuff there. So this show takes place in Columbus, Ohio. Bexley, Ohio is not a suburb. What would we call that? An inverb? An inverb?
Yeah, it's like embedded
in the middle of Columbus, Ohio. So we had a conversation about the locale of Bexley, Ohio being in this book. And I declared that no, there are no houses in Bexley that look like this. And Dindians of the shop have said that I am absolutely wrong. So now we need to see from you guys, what reference material did you use to design and showcase Bexley, Ohio?
Yeah,
we want to know.
Is this a specific house in Bexley?
We want to know that, right?
And if it's not, why Bexley?
I'm really curious. Why Bexley? Why? Because I know you guys. Did you try to kill me? Is that what you did? Like Bendis did that once, right? Like Bendis tried to kill us by blowing stuff up at OSU and stuff. Are y'all attacking us? What's going on?
Yeah, has DC got a problem with Central Ohio?
That's what I'm saying, man. Like, let's talk about. Actually, no. That wasn't a DC book when Bendis did it, was it? That was the Inhumans. That was the Inhuman bombs.
I'm trying to remember.
Yeah. That was.
There was one in.
No, there was.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
Yeah. Action Comics.
Yes. Because that was Bendis too. That's right. Because Bendis tried to kill us twice, and now you guys are doing it. Okay, I see what's up. Next time I see you at a show, we're gonna talk about this. We're gonna talk about this hardcore. Okay, so here's the thing that I love the most. Aquaman has had a total turnaround from all considerations of being a noob in pop culture.
Yeah.
Like you've gotta acknowledge that Aquaman is a badass.
Yeah.
You have to.
You have to.
Like without question. And this plays up that idea very, very well.
Yeah.
And when I say Aquaman, I mean both of them.
Yeah, because they're both going by Aquaman.
Yes. Which, okay, now let's keep it real. You're King of Atlantis.
Mm-hmm.
This young child is calling himself Aquaman. Do you allow this? Like, this is a title that you kind of worked hard for.
Namor never would. You would
Namor
never.
would never.
Yeah, be never Namor and Namor. Like it just wouldn't.
No more. That's what that would be like. You don't
Imperious
call
Rex.
yourself that.
But yeah, like it's kind of interesting. It's almost as if the members of the Justice League are going to be dead in a couple months.
What?
Right?
No. No. You don't think that that's... Okay, so...
It's going to happen in Westerville.
It's they're gonna show up. No. It's gonna be like Groveport, And the reason why it's gonna be Groveport is because someone's gonna say, "Well, clearly there's a water source because it's called Groveport, and there must be a waterway, and that's why they call it Groveport."
There's not.
There's an editor like, catch it now. Don't
Guys,
do it.
don't. Port doesn't mean.
Don't do that.
It just has to do with the rust.
That's it.
It's just.
But no, this was a lot of fun. You see a lot of interesting things. You have the mainstay characters from the Aquaman franchise interacting in a very, very specific sort of way, and things are changing.
Yes.
And that was very exciting. So big shout out to you guys on that one. And again, why y'all got to try to come at Ohio, though? Like, for real. What's going on with that? All right. So the must-reads.
Two that are the same.
Yeah.
One that is
one
different.
is different. My must-reads are themed because I do that sometimes. It's weird. I'm a writer. What do you say? Where do you want to start?
Let's see, because you had Human Target.
Oh, I did.
And that's another Tom King at his best.
Human Target, Book 5. Tom King, Greg Smallwood. Okay. This one is tricky, okay? A lot of bouncing around between characters. You're not really sure who's saying what because what we're dealing with is people in their inner thoughts of the mind. Now, what we have here is the setup. Human Target, Chris, has been poisoned, right? He was pretending to be Lex Luthor, knowing that Lex was under, assassination attempt, and somehow he actually gets poisoned. Very bad. In trying to figure out how this came about, they figure out that the poison for Cusco's has poison, somehow gets involved with Martian Manhunter.
Oh.
So they need to talk to him, interrogate him of sorts.
Wow.
How do you get information from Martian Manhunter? That's what this whole experience is getting information from Martian Manhunter.
Because he's too powerful to threaten.
Can you imagine? Like, how do you... I mean, you could. Bruce has done it.
Yeah.
Because Bruce is that person. With a flame, he's like...
I was going to say Oreos and fire.
Right. But then Martian Manhunter goes... And you're like, dang it! I didn't think this through.
Get ragdolled.
But, okay, so... this becomes very revealing. Yes. If you were Martian Manhunter...
Yeah.
And you know all the things about Martian Manhunter... What would you think about that interaction right there? I would say that that's colorful. I would say that that's very
interesting.
Right? Like, Martian Manhunter has a kink that is not cookies. It's not cookies. And that person being who... Like, I'm like...
Wait a minute. That's...
Sir, you are... You're into some things. You are into some things. And I mean, you know what? You're Martian. So is it a kink or is that just how they get down on Mars? I don't know. I'm not judging.
We're not showing up like Superman or Warworld.
You know what I'm saying? He's super zaddy on Warworld.
Yeah.
With the chain. With the choker. Let's go. No, but this, I mean, like, that's... No, let me share with you. Because that was kind of tame. Like...
Oh, wow.
We go there, man. Like, yeah. This is... There's so much. But this... Okay, so the thing about this, though, and I mean with all sincerity, there are people that... When it comes to writers and classifications, I'm saying on record right now, Tom King is the new Alan Moore. the way that he's doing these stories, your traditional writers can't write that way.
No.
It is very Alan Moore-esque by the structure, the design, and the scope of the stories that he's telling, and it's fabulous. So definitely give that one a look because wow.
Yes.
Good stuff.
Also, from Behemoth. All hail Behemoth. Heavy Metal Drummer is the name of this book. Perfect. Was there any chance I was not going to review it?
Never.
No.
Never. Not even.
So, the creative team. Created, written by Kiefer Findlow and Emiliano Pliskin.
Mm-hmm.
Art by Luca Vassilo. Colored by Luca Vassilo and Tokebi. Logo and credits designed by Ryan Ferre. Lettering by Omar Estevez. All right.
Love it.
So this is it. How to describe it? Take your prototypical thrash metal band from the mid to late 80s.
Yes.
Your drummer.
Mm-hmm.
Mix in a little bit of cocaine. And
they did that back then.
Yeah. Tuesday evening. So, God, I'm trying to, because it's like crappy local metal band that can't make it.
Okay.
But meets John Dies at the End.
Wow.
And the art style.
Oh, that's so trippy. I love it.
Yeah, so, because, all right, so there's the metal band that's trying to do their thing, and then there's some kind of extra dimensional assault happening on the world that is somehow tied into this metal, and it's kind of like the Matrix, the movies, where one place had a color palette,
right?
And so like the regular world has its color palette.
That's cool.
And then there's this like black light poster color palette for this other reality.
That's amazing.
So well illustrated.
That's amazing.
There's like a primitiveness to it. The color choices are amazing. There's the We Live kind of thing going on, and the cat without the eyes. It's just
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Super, super good. And yeah, they got Anthrax shirts, Black Sabbath shirts.
That's for the win.
Yeah, I highly like if you're into that kind of weird thing.
Let me touch that.
And it's an odd shape too.
I was gonna say like it's smaller,
but
in your average book, but
the cover stock, the paper stock on the inside,
really good.
Yeah, it's really amazing. So yeah, if you're into metal and you're into like David Lynchian kind of crazy stuff, this is your jam.
That's beautiful. Yeah. Okay, so we've had a few different metal-based comics that have come out in the last few years. Between this,
Gods of Brutality, which is also this week.
Oh yes, Gods of Brutality, Murder Falcon. Where, like, would you gift these to the metalhead in your life, or does it depend on their age?
I would probably give this one to my brother Sean.
Okay.
But Gods of Brutality to my brother Joel.
Got you. That's nuance, baby. Not all metalheads are the same.
Well, there's a whole I'll like the genres and subgenres.
Love it. Yes. That's good. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Y'all don't want to know what's on my iPod.
Or maybe you do.
True.
Maybe you do. I don't know. Which one do you want to go for next? Two number 5s, both alike in dignity.
Yeah, number 5 is alive.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Shoot, I don't know. It's let's go with the happy one.
Sounds good to me. Dark Ages number 5. The happy one. Tom Taylor, Ivan Coelho, Brian Reber. From this cover alone, you can see some stuff is about to go down.
Yeah,
it's
but
about
you don't
to go down.
Fully appreciate what it is.
I had my thoughts.
Yeah.
Because it does tell a lot on this cover.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that's dangerous.
Yeah.
That is a very dangerous. I feel like
because we've seen Osborne with Carnage before, and that was awesome.
That was amazing. Okay, so we've got everybody, in this literally post-apocalyptic world, where some celestial being has wreaked such havoc that all the technology in the world had to be shut off, and it's bad. Okay, it's bad. The heroes that are left are trying to mount up what they could consider their final assault here.
Yeah.
Like we gotta end this threat, and that threat being Apocalypse.
Yeah.
And the things that he's doing because he is bad.
Yeah.
Bad incarnate.
God, and the fact that he's got Purple Man and making people do these things.
That is so messed up, man. Okay, so Apocalypse has used Purple Man to capture other people, like Reed Richards, like Tony Stark. And now these people do Apocalypse's bidding. That is the worst.
Yeah.
That is the absolute worst. And so Apocalypse is fully aware that there is this resistance against him.
Yeah.
And he thinks it's funny to send former friends
Yeah,
to hurt them.
There's a level of sadism involved.
There definitely
That-
is.
'cause
He's all for it.
Because when we get to that part,
Yeah.
because I was thinking something else.
Okay.
And then I see that, and I'm like, oh man.
Were you thinking it was a different person?
I was wondering if it would had that action going on,
Right,
like something
right.
else, but like him being, like that's pepper spray in the
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
in the pooper. That's
in
not
the
cool.
hole, in the wrong hole. We see potentially one of the greatest threats, and I actually will say that I was slightly disappointed that it had to be contained to this one issue.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that threat could have carried over into another issue.
Yeah.
But I'm sure, like, there's strategies, all kinds of stuff that I don't know nothing about that had to go into that conversation. But if this was given, like, the same, like, air that Deceased had, this would be an ongoing problem. Like,
Yeah.
an absolute ongoing problem. Especially, like, if they switched. Like, can you imagine that? Like, if one jumps off to go do something, the other one stays, and then that one, and then they switch.
There's a utility.
That would be dangerous.
Right?
Like, beyond dangerous.
Yeah, you could. There's so many things you could do with it. Bring in one of the other symbiotes too.
Oh God, that's no, thank you, no, thank you.
Nightmare fuel.
Yeah,
Nightmare
it
fuel.
really is. It really is. And when you look at, like, again, even as quick as it was, the people that got taken down
Yeah. Well, they would.
in a heartbeat, man. Like, and those are no slouches. Like, no
Right.
slouches. These are the ones that you call on when you're like, hey, we need to kill some things. We want you to do it. And they're like, yes, gladly.
Mission accomplished.
Not against this one.
And it wouldn't trigger.
That was the best part. They're like, nah, it's fine. Nah, I'm not fit. Oh my God. Oh my God. Really? Like, that was amazing.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. Okay. House of Slaughter #5. From the world of Something is Killing the Children. Tie-in, Brumball, Deladero, Sheehan, Morto.
This should have been out on Valentine's Day.
Oh, you are brutal. You are brutal.
Things I'm only half kidding.
But you're absolutely right,
Yeah.
though. You are okay. The love story here is, it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking in a way that is beautiful and romantic. How do you do? How?
Yeah. For monster hunters. Like, one is seeking revenge.
Yes.
And the other is being sent to deal out a punishment.
Yeah. Retribution. I will say Jace's plan was amazing. Because
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I mean, you've been plotting this for a while. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, what's your plan?
What
You're angry. I get it. Based on everything you've told me at face value, these people deserve punished.
They do.
But what?
How? What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? That's a good answer.
That is.
That is a really
That
good
is
answer.
really-
That's a very wise answer. Okay, so in this world, right? You know that monsters are real, right? But there's a secret organization that hunts these monsters. And at worst, if the situation gets out of hand, not only do they hunt the monsters, they sometimes hunt the survivors because no one is supposed to know about this. That is the thing. This is taking a look behind the scenes and saying how those people that this is their job, maybe they're not all as convicted about what their job is.
Yeah.
And that the internal politics of this business are not as cut and dry as they might seem.
In the way that, as we've seen with the Jedi, you're forced to not have these attachments,
Right.
because they lead to bad things happening.
Yes.
And that's where one of the Jason and the other dude, they're in love.
Right. And how
did he let himself fall in love knowing what was going to happen?
Because he couldn't stop it. That was real. That was true love. And when true love is there, nothing can stop it. Not even death. It only delays it a little. Like, that is the thing. And then the move at the end. Like.
Right? Aaron's a smart dude.
He's very smart. Very smart.
But he also knows.
It's only a matter of time. Like, everything is... It's so beautifully heartbreaking. Yeah. I
don't think it's going to end well, but I want to see what this new house
absolutely
would be.
Absolutely.
House built on love as opposed to fear.
Fear, all of that. Yes. Yeah. And giving somebody an opportunity to take back their life post what they've gone through.
Yeah.
Like, what a statement. I'm allowing them to be kids.
That seems so...
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Please. Oh my God. This was fantastic.
So good. Like, and it's... Because when you get spin-off books...
Yeah.
Or spin-off television or spin-off movies, a lot of times they're just kind of hollow shells of the original stuff. This is amazing. This is its own... The only thing... God, I'm trying to figure out how to phrase it. The only thing holding it back from being the premier book in the Slaughterverse is the fact that some of these children existed first,
right,
and created the world that this takes place in.
It's true.
Otherwise, this is just a human story. This is emotions. This is human versus human. This isn't whatever scary monster, which I can't wait to see when the next scary monster with Eric Slaughter.
Yes.
But it's a different book.
It is. It has a different feel to it. It's not even trying to scare you in the same way. It's trying to force you to connect with these guys, and you do. Mm-hmm. And you get enamored with the whole internal politics of the houses.
Yeah.
Because it just intertwines itself that much better with the story. It's really, really good. Really good. Chef's kiss.
Yeah.
What a good week, man.
Pretty solid.
That's how you do it. If this is going to be the last series of books in February, that's how you want to do it. March, step your game up, okay?
Yeah. You've got 5 Wednesdays, March.
Come on. The gauntlet has been thrown. Do something.
20% or 25?
25? Yeah, 25%.
Yeah, some
more.
Kind of math.
Something.
I'm a dropout.
It. It's so terrible. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode because we enjoyed this episode. Mm-hmm. If we've read what you've read, comment below. Talk about it. Let's get into it. Let's create our own Black, White, and Reddit, and let's chat about these things. You like that, right?
That was pretty smart.
Thank you.
That was pretty smart.
I've been sitting on that for like a week. No joke. And obviously, again, hit that thumbs up because we need that validation.
Yep.
Algorithms and all that fun stuff. And
subscribe.
Do it.
Yep.
Do it. Click the bell because we're here every week.
Every week.
For you.
Whether you like it or not.
That's right. We're threatening you. Read some stuff. Please? Or I'll lick your face.
He's got one of the... You know, your tongue really does have that, like, rough cat tongue touch.
I aim for that.
Yeah.
It's training. It's all the training.